The moment yes.
It is live now. Rishita, you can start. You can start, Ramya.
Okay, we can start. They said that we can start. A very good morning, everyone. I welcome everyone to today's panel discussion, which is organized by Indian National Center for Ocean Information Services in KOIS as a part of their iconic week-long celebration of Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. I am Trishnita Bhattacharya, a senior research fellow at INCOIS, and I will be moderating today's program. The topic for today's panel discussion is career opportunities and challenges for women in earth sciences. Today, we have with us 5 very eminent scientists who are very renowned in their own fields, and we will be talking to them today about their work, the challenges they have faced while they have reached such heights. And I welcome everyone, and I hope that the audience who will be watching our show today will be able to interact properly with them and ask as many questions as they want, especially the school children who have questions about career opportunities. After their academic upbringing is done, they can ask questions directly to the panel members. Introducing the panel for today's discussion. First, we have Dr. Rashmi Sharma, Group Director of Atmospheric and Ocean Sciences Group at the Space Application Center, ISRO. Next, we have Dr. Purnima Jalihal, who heads the Energy and Freshwater Group at NIOT. We also have Dr. Swapna Panikal, Senior Scientist at Center for Climate Change Research, IITM. We have Dr. Velviri, Principal Scientist and Head of Fish for All Center at the MS Swaminathan Research Foundation. And finally, we have Ms. Divya David T, Scientist at Arctic Ocean Atmospheric Science Group, NCPOR, Goa. We will be starting the panel discussion shortly, but before that, I request all the... Okay, I have to admit it. Yes. I request all the audience members who are watching the show today, since we've gone live, we request them to start posting questions in the chat box from the very beginning, because we don't want them to wait till the discussion is over. When the audience is trying to interact, please write your names in the chat box, your affiliations. If you're a school student, please write the class or section or the standard that you're at. If you want to ask your question to a specific panel member, please mention that as well, and write your questions at the end of it. So we will try to take as many questions as possible throughout this discussion. I welcome all the panel members. Thank you so much for being able to be a part today. It's an honor for us to have this panel discussion. I would like to first introduce Dr. Rashmi Sharma and start the conversation by introducing all the panel members. Dr. Rashmi Sharma, as I said, is the Group Director of the Atmospheric and Ocean Sciences Group at ISRO. She is involved in the application of satellite data through data assimilation and process study for ocean state generation and satellite sensor definition. She is also the recipient of several awards, including the PR Pisharati Memorial Award, the Satish Dhawan Award, ISRO's Merit Award, and ISRO's Team Award. She's also the Associate Editor of the Journal of the Indian Sciences of Remote Sensing. A warm welcome, Dr. Sharma. Ma'am, can you hear me?
Yeah, actually there was some issue in my connection. So okay. I hope now I'm audible. I'm joining through my mobile actually. Okay.
Oh, that's okay. Yes, we can't see your video. I mean, is it possible to?
Yeah.
There is an echo as well.
Fine. Is it okay now?
Yes, we can hear you properly. Yes, and the video is also on.
So actually, I missed your initial point. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
I should start, right? Okay.
Yes.
All right. Thank you so much.
Yes.
So, as we celebrate this Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, it's a pleasure and privilege for me to talk about career opportunities and challenges for women in earth sciences. This is very close topic. This is very close to me, in fact. And I extend my warm greetings to my esteemed co-panelists, dear
Madam,
students, researchers.
Madam,
Yes.
can you enable your video, ma'am? Sorry to interrupt. Can you enable your video, ma'am?
The video is on.
I can see the video. I can see the video. Yeah. I don't know why others cannot see.
Yeah, the video is on from my side.
Okay, ma'am, please continue. I can see the video. It's not a problem at all.
Okay. Thank you so much. Okay. So, I extend my warm greetings to my esteemed co-panelists and dear students, researchers, professionals, organizers, and to all those who are attending this webinar. And my very sincere thanks to Director Inquest for extending this invitation. Now, coming straight away to this topic, what I feel is that there are challenges everywhere in every field and for everyone. So, but then we will talk about the challenges a bit later. Let's talk about the opportunities first. So let's start with a positive note. So for this, we need to understand what exactly is the earth sciences, and you can visualize it like this is a field which talks about all about the scientific understanding and exploration of our planet Earth. So which is a complex system, of course, but it is nevertheless very exciting domain. Now you may question, why is this so exciting? So I will tell you something from my own perspective. So actually ocean research has fascinated me, not because it's it's not trivial, but the matter of fact is that I am a physics with electronics as a specialization as my background. And when I joined ISRO back in 1991, I was a little perplexed. I thought with a physics background, what I'm going to do here in this ocean research. But slowly I started, making use of the satellite observations for the oceanographic studies. And then I realized that it's all physics. And what better way to, put your physics knowledge in place for understanding something or the system that affects the livelihood of the people, affects nation's economy, and decides the many policy making. So I started enjoying it, and now it has become my passion. So one thing I would like to mention here is that it's been 30 years since I have joined ISRO, and very recently I completed 30th year. And today also, when I get a mail from any journal saying that your manuscript is accepted for publication, I feel so elated, and it makes my day. Now, as regards to any specific question which the students will have about what ISRO offers in the field of earth sciences with regards to the data or the training program or the job, I think we will take them up in a question answer session for the want of time. And now I will talked about the opportunities. The challenges is, you see this very topic, if you look at the topic, it says career, which is very important. It's not a job. So if you consider this as your career and not just as any other job, you will certainly have the courage and willpower to overcome the obstacles that you will face in your professional journey. And I'm very sure many of us, and in fact all of us, face some of the other obstacles in our career path, be it personal obligations or challenges. And specifically for women, it becomes a little bit more challenging from the personal front also. And I'm not denying that, but in office also you may face sometimes some fold biases or some type of biased attitude. Responses will not be in favor of you. But nevertheless, if you feel that it is a career which you want to make, go for it, and you will overcome all the challenges. One challenge which I see in this earth sciences is that the field duties, which many women will not be feeling very comfortable taking up that. Like if you are an oceanographer, you may have to go for the ship cruises for many days. So, but then, as I said, that if research is your passion, you will make efforts to do it. Now, before I end, couple of just points I would like to mention. One is it's a suggestion. One is learn as much as you can from your colleagues, be it your seniors, peers, juniors. Everyone has something to teach you. Okay, so that has been my mantra all the way. Now, the second is this is specifically for women, that never show your weakness about you being a woman, and never take any undue advantage also of that. Okay, so that is very important. You are not here because you are a woman. You are here because you have deserved this position. And third point is that if some criticism comes your way, take it very, very positively. Okay, because you learn a lot from the criticisms. So I will just say one example I will give you from my own experience. You know, we get this casual leaves every year, and that gets elapsed at the end of the year. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So you don't have to. I mean, you cannot carry it forward to the next year. So it happened with me long back in the beginning of my career. So I had few days left, and I took some 3-4 days leave in the last week of December. And then when I joined,
Dr. Sharma, can you hear me? For some reason, I think your video is paused. Hello. I think there is some connection issue, which is why Dr. Sharma's video has been paused. I would just ask her to get it sorted, and we can listen to that anecdote. She can continue. Dr. Sharma, can you hear me, ma'am? Yeah, admit. I think she was logged out by mistake. I tried to admit her. Hello, ma'am. Can you hear me?
Yeah. There was some issue from my side.
Yes, ma'am. I don't know, ma'am. Yes, we heard up till you said that you had some casualties which cannot be forwarded to the next year. So end of December, you were able to you took those leaves. We heard up till that much only. Would you please be able to repeat if you said anything after that? Oh, I think this is a recurring problem. She was again logged out by mistake, or somehow, I don't know. I have logged her in again. I think I logged her in. Yes. Yeah, some connection issues. There are these problems. Sometimes these happen. Yes,
hi.
Yes, ma'am, we can hear you.
Yeah, so I will just end because I have taken enough time. So
no, ma'am, it's all right at all. Yes,
all right. So I took the leave, and then
Oh no! The moment you said that, I took the leave. That's the moment we lost you. It's all right. We'll try to sort this out. Can we have someone from the CWG just check if it's a problem with our connection, or is it some? Just would you please check? No, we have to wait for her anecdote to finish, right? Is Dr. Sharma speaking now? Okay, then I think no one can hear. Yes, okay. I thought it's just I who can't hear from this setup.
There is some issue at Madam's and Rashmi
Okay.
Sharma is able to not connect again. We'll wait for some time, or we'll proceed with the next panel.
Okay, ma'am, what we can do is that we'll proceed to our next panel member. I'll introduce her and start talking to her, but definitely I will come back to her. I really want to hear this anecdote. We'll talk to her about this particular, what she started, we could not end. So I will move on. That would save a bit of our time, if that's all right. I think, is that all right? All right. Sorry, there is a technical issue, but we'll move on. I will introduce our next panel member, Dr. Purnima Jalihal, who heads the Energy and Freshwater Group at NIOT, National Institute for Ocean Technology. In 2006, she was awarded the Vishwakarma Medal by INSA, International Science Academy, and this was for her work in setting up the ocean thermal gradient-based desalination plant. This was at Kavara. This was... Hello? Rashmi ma'am, can you hear me?
Yes, madam, I can hear you. I'm so sorry for all.
Ma'am, it's all right. I just thought that I had started introducing our next panel member. So after that conversation, I will definitely come back to you, and we can talk about that anecdote that you started. I just thought that it would be a better option to move on to save time. Is that I hope that's not a problem. I will come back to you. Okay. Yes, as I was saying, Dr. Jalihal, she received the Vishwakarma Award in 2006 for her. Thank you, ma'am. For her work in setting up the desalination plant, which was a one-of-a-kind endeavor. And in 2019, she was awarded the Yohara Prize by the International OTEC community for contribution to the development of ocean thermal energy conversion. She's the EU-led Clean Energy Mission Innovation Champion for India 2020, and currently she's the Vice Chair of the Executive Committee of the Ocean Energy Systems Technology Collaboration Program under the International Energy Agency. Welcome, ma'am. Thank you so much for being able to be a part of this conversation. After this little introduction that I could do of your work, I would ask you to address the gathering and talk to us very briefly about your work at first, because we will in detail talk about your work, and also maybe you could introduce the topic that we have, career opportunities for women, challenges that they face in earth sciences. Very briefly, if you could just introduce the topic, your work, and then we will move on from there.
Yeah, sure. Thank you very much, Trishnita. And firstly, let me thank Director INCOIS and also the INCOIS team for putting this panel together for this Amrit Mahotsav. It was a very good idea, and you're the only people who thought about it. So thank you very much for organizing, and also a warm welcome and good morning to all the listeners. So briefly, like Trishnita said, I'm from the National Institute of Ocean Technology, and this is the only institute in the country which develops technologies for ocean-related activities, be it harnessing resources or exploration, or trying to understand basically all the facets of the ocean. 70% of the earth is the ocean, and still we know very little about it. If we stand on the beach and we see the waves, we can't help wondering, where the power is coming from and how beautiful it is. But what really the oceans hold, there's so much more to know, there is so much more to understand, and can we, beat the vagaries of nature? This is something that technologists and engineers still we are, like I would say, just in the very, very infancy of understanding and developing technologies for the ocean. Broadly, actually, there are a lot of things that we do in the ocean, but as far as the work that I do, we are trying to develop devices for harnessing energy from the various forms like waves, currents, and the ocean thermal gradient. And we differ from NIO, that is National Institute of Oceanography, in that they are into the physics, chemistry, and biology and oceanography of the oceans. We are actually the technology developers, so there is a large focus on the engineering aspects. And so as we talk about STEM, science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, and women in STEM in particular, which is relevant to this context, the T and E is what is relevant for the work that we do. So technology development, it's very challenging because oceans are very, very hard to fathom, and as we develop technologies and we go deeper and deeper into the ocean, we understand how difficult it is. We do face failures, and we need to reinvent the wheel at times. That basically, we are in our group, we are focusing on indigenous developments. All the work that we have done are the first ever works, and also many of them are the first time internationally.
Okay.
So we have been able to actually pioneer some of the works, especially the low temperature thermal desalination. All of the world now, India is considered a front runner, and people are coming to us for advice and also inputs. This is in brief the work, and anyone has questions, I'll be glad to elaborate. But in the context of this meeting, not to take too much time, what are the challenges and opportunities? Ocean technology is such a broad canvas. It's barely filled up. There's still a long space to grow, a huge wide expanse to learn and understand, and also really do something for the country in terms of blue economy, and also several other challenges that the country is facing today, whether it is the water stress or the power stress, or resources, the strategic implications. There is lots and lots to do, and I think women can equal or even outrun men to take up these challenges and do something which can benefit the country. There are some challenges because all the ocean related activities do need installations and deployments offshore, and so it needs a lot of grit and determination to be able to go to the oceans out there on the field, spend several days, and many of us in NIOT, all the women have been doing this, and I particularly have actually sailed very, very often, and been the only woman among several men and done all the installations and deployments. Yes, there are difficult times, but then once we overcome those, the satisfaction that you feel is tremendous. I'll end by saying just one sentence, that in Kavaratti, when we first put up the desalination plant, they did not have any good drinking water to drink in the island of 10,000 people. And the people who actually finally started drinking the water, the feedback, was very, it was so touching. They said, we never knew that tea tastes like this, that chai tastes like this. So that was like so amazing, that from the basic points that we made, the calculations that we made, it reached the hearts of the people. And I think that's what ocean technology is all about. We can touch the society and touch the hearts of people. And I would really think all the youngsters here should take interest in ocean technology. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much for that interesting introduction. Rashmi, ma'am, I would like to just revert to you, and I'm eagerly waiting for you to finish that anecdote, because we want to know how that ended.
Yeah, that is true. I'm very sorry for the that I could not complete at that time. Anyway, so I was just about to complete my initial points. What I wanted to say is that I try to take the leaves because anyway it would have got lapsed next year. So actually my head was not knowing at that time that I was on leave. So when I went to greet him for the new year, he said, so where were you all these 3-4 days? I told him that, sir, I had this leave, and anyway it was, it would have got lapsed. So I took it. And the statement which he made to me, it changed my complete perspective. So he said that, see, this is not, this is not how a researcher or a scientist should think of. See, you can take the leave, but not just because it is getting lapsed. So it changed my whole perspective, the whole outlook. And then and now, I think I take leaves only when it is essential and it is required. So once you see that, once you feel that, you want to do science and research is your passion, all these things, obstacles, what I meant is, all these things look very small actually. You will, make ways to overcome those challenges and obstacles. So, so I will end by saying that, like, oceans are vast, and atmosphere has no boundaries. So think new, think big, and think beyond. So thank you very much, and thank you for giving this opportunity. It was wonderful. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, Dr. Sharma, and thank you, Dr. Panikal, both of you, for having given us this beautiful introduction. Very briefly about your work. Of course, we will be talking more in detail, and I request all the audience members who are listening to type in the questions during the introduction as well as during the discussion, so that we will have enough time to take your questions. Otherwise, it will just be rush at the end of it. All right, moving on. Our next panel member, our third panel member, Dr. Swapna Panikal. She is the senior scientist at Center for Climate Change Research, IITM. She's working to develop an Earth system model which contributed to the IPCC 6th assessment report. She is also the recipient of Certificate of Merit by the MOES, the IITM Silver Jubilee Award 2017 and the Dr. Wernicke Award in 2016 by IMS, Indian Meteorological Society. She is also the lead author of the IPCC 6th assessment report, member of the working group on coupled modeling, World Climate Research program, member of the working group for the mega science vision of the Government of India. Ma'am, welcome. Thank you so much for joining us for this discussion. I would request you to please briefly introduce your work and also briefly introduce your take on the topic today that we have.
Yeah, good morning all. So as we have already heard, like myself, Swapna Panikal, I am from Indian Institute of Tropical Meteorology, Pune. So first of all, I would like to express my gratitude to Director INCOIS and also the INCOIS team for organizing this wonderful event. And I am so privileged to be part of this Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav celebrations. So this IITM, Indian Institute of Tropical Meteorology, which is MOES Institute, which is located in Pune, it mainly focuses on the meteorological research, also do the observations, and we also have a Center for Climate Change Research, where I am working, which focuses on the climate change related science and understanding the science of climate change. And we also have the modeling aspects, where we first time we have developed the climate model that has participated in the Intergovernmental Panel of Climate Change 6th Assessment Report. So this is a brief introduction about the institute where I am working in. So basically, I am coming from an oceanography field. I have done a physical oceanography MSc, and then I have worked on the ocean modeling. And so my experience in the modeling, which I learned during my PhD, which helped me to get involved in the development of the modeling field. So I think we know like ocean, global warming is happening, planet is warming. So, and more 70% of the planet is covered by the oceans, and oceans absorb a lot of heat in the climate system. So, because of this warming of the climate system, we are experiencing more and more extreme weather events. We are experiencing heavy extreme rainfall. We are experiencing heat waves. So, we have started experiencing all those types of events because of the warming of the climate. And so we need a proper understanding. Like first of all, we need to understand like why what is happening to this climate Earth system. So for that, we need to have more observations and we need to have more understanding on the models with which we can have a much more understanding on the climate system. So basically, IITM at Pune, we focus on these aspects. We do the observations and we also work on the developing the different models. It starts from the extended range to seasonal and the climate scale. So different types of models we are developing. And if we consider the students who are very much interested, I think people are getting much more aware about the importance of the global warming and how it is affecting our lives. So like it is a much more emerging field. Like students can get involved, they can learn more about the climate science and they can get involved in these activities. And many universities and colleges are opening up the courses for the climate science. So it's a very emerging field. We need the people to get involved in working, and more young students, they can come into the field and work. It's a very positive field we can consider, like we can have much more contributions in the field. And as a woman, when I consider, like when I enter into the field, yes, of course, it is like I have been into the climate research for the last 15 years since I completed my PhD in 2006. So to me, I feel like climate research is a very passionate field, which I always wanted to learn more and explore more. So whenever we are finding a problem, we are finding into a research area. So we wanted to learn, explore more about the things. So every time we are learning more and more things. It never ends. So that is the passion. So that is the way like we can go ahead. And if you consider the IITM is having a very good infrastructure facility. And we are having an HPC, everything is at world-class level. So that is a very much positive advantage who want to come and work in the field, and with the support which we are getting from the IITM and MOES, I really want to thank, it is a very good thing, we can emerge in the field. So if I consider, say, women, a challenge for the woman in the field, because we know women play a pivotal role in the progress and sustainability of the society when they are empowered with education and also employment opportunities. So when we consider challenges, to me, the great challenge, what I find was that to get into the new field and we learn the things. But we should have a proper balance. We have a profession, we have to have a family also. So to have a balance between these two, that is really more important. But because if we have more proper support from the family and also from the institute and our colleagues, because we have a good team working together, so everything is possible. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much for that introduction. I will now introduce our next panel member, Dr. S. Velveri. She is the Principal Scientist and Head for Fish for All Center at the MS Swaminathan Research Foundation. Since 2002, she has been working with small-scale marine fishing communities, biodiversity conservation, post-harvest management, climate change, and also gender mainstreaming. She received the Ambedkar Award in 2010, Spark Pancharatna Award 2019, Women Achiever Award in 2021, and K. Chidambaram Memorial Award in 2021 for promoting sustainable fisheries-focused participatory research. Now, the best part about having you in our panel is that most of your work is it's a lot of groundwork, a lot of field research. Probably, if I'm not mistaken, a lot of your work is with people at the very grassroots level, very rural level, there is we can get a sense of the ground reality from your work, how you are able to take science to that class, that strata of the society, without being presumptuous. So please talk to us about your experience with dealing with a strata of society that others are not probably too well aware of, and also please introduce the topic from your perspective, today's panel discussion topic. Welcome, ma'am.
Thank you for the introduction. Good morning to all. Actually, I am happy to be here to share some of my personal and professional experiences in my career. I hope my experiences will be a learning opportunities for the youngsters who watch this panel discussion.
Yes.
Thanks, Voice, for giving this opportunity. Before starting my work, I just introduce my personal background.
Yes.
Basically, I am from a fisher family, and my father is a fisherman, and he worked as a laborer in a fishing boat. I am also a first-generation graduate. From my childhood onwards, I spent most of my time with the fishers, the sea, coastal areas, sand dunes. So I heard a lot of things from my father about the sea conditions, social behaviors, especially during extreme conditions like cyclones and flood. Since my house is very close to the seashore area, I personally experienced the ill effects of the natural calamities like cyclones, flood, rough sea, etc., and associated risk, and how it affects the lives and livelihood security of the people, those who are living in the coast. The fisher folk life is something different from others. Every day they spend their life with the fear of death and loss. This background, this personal background, motivated me to study oceanography subject and started my research related to that. After completion of my master's degree, I joined in MSSRF. MSSRF is a well-known NGO. It is based in Chennai. The main focus of the organization is that taking science to the society. So I joined MSSRF in the year 2002 and started my research career. So as I said earlier, my research is something different from other panelists. Most of my research with the community. I spend most of my time with the fisher folks, fishing villages, and doing a lot of participatory research with the people to understand their need, issues, how they are vulnerable to the natural events, and accordingly provides the scientific solution. As I said earlier, I started my careers in the year 2002. That was the 2004. That was the time the tsunami was happening. So when I interacted with the fisher folks, that time They were afraid and they were looking for scientific advisories to know the status of sea, wave action, wind pattern for planning their day-to-day fishing activities. So to address some of their issues, we have collaborated in COIS since that time and started providing marine fisheries advisories on sea conditions like wave height, wind speed, the disaster alert, potential fishing zone information, etc. The advisory given by the INCOI is fine-tuned by us, localized by us, value added by us to the local to address the local need of the fishers and disseminated using different ICT tools. We have developed many communication tools on our own, like the Fisher Friend mobile application, and also customized existing tools to reach the marine fishery advisory services to the the unreached fisher communities. Not only the dissemination, also collected real-time feedback to understand the accuracy of the ocean products developed by the institutes. So we have been bridging the science from the inquiries and the fisher folk and strengthen the advisories related to marine fisheries. Initially, inquiries provided the general forecast. The result, the initially inquiries provided the general PE visit information and need from the fishers. Now they have started the research on species-specific forecast. Regarding the ocean state card, it was a general advisory during 2009 and all. Then after the feedback from the field, ground, we understood that we need to have a special advisory for small scale fishes. This was discussed with the inquiries and started the advisory for small craft fishes. Likewise, many location-specific products came from inquiries based on our critical feedback, which was collected at the ground level. Not only the new products, even accuracy of the information is also fine-tuned and improved a lot. In my career, the capacity building is another important aspect related to disaster management, sustainable fishing practices. I have conducted many number of onboard trips with the fishermen for the validation of the services. Now I am also managing 3 buoys deployed on the sea to collect the real-time data on wave height, sea surface temperature, sea current, etc. Most of the practical training was conducted in the sea. Started my work with 100 fishers in one district. Now our work is spread across all the coastal states of our country. Almost in all the coastal areas, our services are reached. More than, as on date, more than we impacted the life of the more than 2 lakhs fishermen. So during this journey, I faced a lot of challenges, especially traveled in remote villages. As a woman, late hours working with the people and into the village. When entering into the sea, that time I was only the women. So these are some of the challenges I faced. But I thought these are some physical barriers. My experience and learnings from my work is that if we remove our mental barriers, these things are nothing. With this journey, I am also fortunate to have mentors and colleagues that respected and valued the contribution and potential of others, women scientists. That is also very, very important. I was also fortunate to be surrounded by wonderful women scientists as a role models. I am very proud to be a woman in science. I am a self-motivated person. I never think myself because of women the task are unable to do that. This is very, very important for the people, those who are going into the next level. My advice for the young women researchers, those who are watching this program, that while you try to reach the top in research, you must remain grounded and unhindered irrespective of whether you face victory or loss. Victories and failures are a part and parcel of our life. While some as victory, others may not bear fruits. But that doesn't mean we lose hope and give up. Determination and belief in yourself what it takes to be a winner and carve your way to the top. So with this, I hope you are all winners. You have a lot of opportunities. Don't think the research is only at the laboratory. Think differently. We have a lot of opportunities around us. Your dream is the key to your future. Keep the things in your mind. Take challenging tasks and keep going. All the best. I am looking for the question from the students. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you for having introduced your work so brilliantly and in such simple words, so that the others who are probably who are now students, they will be able to understand, and for those encouraging words, so that they can ask questions, however simple might they be. Thank you. I will now introduce our fifth panel member and our last panel member, Ms. Divya David T. She is a scientist at the Arctic Ocean Atmospheric Science Group, NCPOR, National Center for Polar and Ocean Research in Goa. And as you can, as everyone can understand very easily, since she is working at the with the polar region, in the polar region, her work is absolutely fascinating, and it is probably more fascinating than we can understand just by hearing it. She is the project lead of the Indian Arctic Project. The project is a long-term monitoring of the Kongsfjorden for climate change studies. She is also the co-project investigator in 2 international projects with the Norwegian and the Scottish researchers under SIOS, Integrated Marine Observatory Partnership, and FRAM Center Flagship. She's been awarded the POGO SCOR Visiting Fellowship for Collaborative Studies Abroad, and interestingly, she has been part of scientific expedition teams twice to the Equatorial Indian Ocean, once to the Southern Ocean, and 6 times to the Arctic region. So, welcome, ma'am. I am extremely excited to hear about the stories that you might have to share from your experience from these scientific expeditions. Ma'am, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yes, ma'am. We can hear you too.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Trishneeta, for the beautiful introduction. And a very good morning to all of my fellow panelists and all those audience for today's discussion. So I again thank the Director of Inquiries and all the coordinators of this to give me such a wonderful opportunity. Again, I would stress the word opportunity to have and to be in such a distinguished panel who is discussing one of the most hot and important topic of today's world, the career opportunities and challenges that women scientists are getting and facing in the science field.
Ma'am, sorry to interrupt, but yes, we can't see your video. If it is possible, then we would ask you to please switch on the video. If we can't hear, we can't see you.
My video is on from my side, but I don't know why it is not visible there. Let me
yes,
it off
yes,
again, and then I'll
yes.
Is it visible now?
No, ma'am, I can't see. Can the others see? No, ma'am, we can't.
Because here it is showing that my video is enabled.
All right, ma'am. It's all right. I think it's some technical issue, but we can hear you perfectly well. So you may continue.
Okay, fine. Yeah, thank you. And I am very privileged, both in the sense that I am a follower of all these wonderful ladies who have already shared their stories and introduced themselves, and also privileged to be one of the women scientists or one of the women who have reached to a position of being a women scientist in today. So I'm coming from National Center for Polar and Ocean Research, like Trishneeta has already introduced, and we are told to public that we are the Indian gateway to the polar science or the research of polar science. Our institute facilitates the expeditions and give an opportunity for our Indian scientists to go to the polar regions, to the Arctic, to the Antarctic, the Himalayas, all these regions to conduct research in all the fields. When I say all the fields, it includes physical oceanography, chemical oceanography, biological, geological, geophysical, and all the multidisciplinary, including the environmental studies. So, coming to the polar regions, Trisnita has told, as I'm coming from a polar institute, it's quite exciting or more exciting. But I would put it in a different way, that all the research work in whichever area is very exciting. And those which are not easily accessible are always more exciting to us, which might have made all of us to think that polar science is more exciting. In a way, it is true also, because it is an inaccessible region, and going there or seeing there itself is not possible to all the people who are in the tropical region, all the scientists, not even for the scientists. So, visiting the place itself and the field works there to collect the samples for our scientific investigations. That again poses quite a set of challenges, as the challenge comes from the logistical side. It comes from the nature in form of the bad weather conditions that prevails most often in those areas, and how to access it in the ships or boats. And after going there in the cold conditions, how to work and how to collect the samples, scientific samples, being in that condition, which are not quite normal to us. It is quite different for our tropical bodies. So, in those perspectives, the scientific research in polar regions is actually adventurous and interesting. So, I would say that those women researchers who are interested in scientific field and doing research, and who want to be adventurous, who want to go to such places and to find the hidden teleconnections between those polar regions and our tropical regions. Youngsters should always go for that. And coming to a quick background of myself, just like Dr. Velvili told just now, I also connect with the fisherman community, as I was belong to that community. And so ocean is nothing new for me from my childhood onwards. But then I got the opportunities and privilege to study in the convent schools. I completed my school education, and by the end of the school education, my teachers helped me to identify that I'm more interested and more close, a bit more closer to the science, which helped me to select science for my higher secondary education. And by end of it, again, the teachers helped me to understand and to realize myself that I'm more interested in physics and mathematics than any other science studies, in science subjects. So I decided for the majors in physics for my bachelor's degree, and it was during the third year of my bachelor's degree, the 2004 December, tsunami hit the Indian coast like any other places, and in Kerala, it hit mostly in the districts, my neighboring districts of Kollam, Alappuzha and Ernakulam. Whereas in the newspapers it was written that Trivandrum was lucky, as the diffracted waves wide turn at the peninsula tip. So I used to read the news in the college in the morning in the assemblies. So I was for that purpose I was going through this news, and this actually got my attention on how the physics is applicable to the day-to-day events in our life, to the weather events in our life. So I asked questions to my parents, elders, and then to my teachers. And one of the teacher got some paper clippings to tell me what a tsunami is and how what the physics behind it is, and why Trivandrum, which is my native place, is not affected. All those things, and this was in my mind. And after completing the bachelor's degree, my parents got me some pamphlets with all the universities, different masters, and one of it was the oceanography course offered by School of Marine Sciences, Cochin University of Science and Technology, Kerala. So immediately I
gave the entrance exam for that, and I joined the class in 2005, the next year to tsunami. In my class there were 13 students, out of which only 4 were girls. And I'm quite happy to say that all the 3 are still in the field doing research. So that shows a development from the history that I have learned till that time, that not many women go to earth science, and not many women to the field of oceanography. Not many women go for the scientific expeditions. So it is happy that I'm living in the present world where more and more women are coming forward, and more and more opportunities are opening up for women, respective of the gender. So then I joined National Institute of Oceanography for doing my PhD, and it was then through the walk-in interview I got in to National Center for Polar and Ocean Research, which opened a new arena. When I say arena, it's just a change in the geography where I'm working, which gave me an opportunity again, because when I joined, I was a newbie who was not at all experienced, because 2 or 3 years I just had the experience of a research scholar. And then suddenly I was given, handed over the project of long-term monitoring of Kongsfjord and Kroksfjordet, where India deployed the first Indian mooring in 2014. And I'm quite proud and happy to tell that I played a major role in that program, which is running successfully so far. So from 2014 onwards, I'm the project investigator of this particular project, where the INTACT is part of. And over this growth, no one can reach any particular point, or no one can start the voyage of being a scientist in earth science, be it a man or women, without the support of others. And over the time, there are many women who have supported me professionally, personally, and it has helped me a lot, and is helping me a lot, because many of my colleagues, women colleagues in my institute, with whom I discuss my day-to-day matters, both professional and personal, has helped me and is helping me to work successfully. So I would tell the youngsters to think and take the examples of all the senior people who have talked to you about how fascinating the field of earth science is. Understand it, think it for yourself, and grab that opportunity. If it comes to your path, then grab that opportunity. Whatever the opportunity is, you have to grab it. Not always it comes and sits on your lap. So you have to grab the opportunity and work hard to pursue it, so that you can finally sit and really enjoy the definition of success, being satisfied with what you are doing and what you are going to do. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am, so much for that beautiful introduction. So we have introduced all our panel members, and the audience members already have a good idea of the kind of work that all the panelists are doing. I would urge the students who are watching this live meeting today to send in questions as soon as possible. The good thing about today's discussion is that we have panelists from a variety of research activities, a variety of backgrounds. So so I would urge the students to please send in their questions. We will be taking those questions shortly. I also introduce the Secretary of MOES, Dr. Ravi Chandran. He has joined us, and also the Director of Inquiries, Dr. Srinivas Kumar T. He also has joined. I would please request our Director to please introduce Secretary of MOES and ask him to say a few words about this program today.
Thank you very much, Trishnita. I hope you are able to see and hear me. So I would like to first of all thank all the accomplished panelists. I mean, each of you, your talks have been so motivational. I've been working with all of you for several years. It has always been a pleasure to hear to you, always actually. Dr. Rashmi, Dr. Purnima, Dr. Swapna, Ms. Deepya, and Dr. Velvili. Thank you very much for your very motivational talks. Even I myself, I'm motivated all over again. Thank you very much. I'm sure there are a lot of questions from the students who are actually listening to this program directly on these MS Teams. If you are here, but then there are several of them following this on the YouTube live. I'd like to introduce briefly our new secretary, Dr. M. Ravichandran. All of you know Dr. Ravichandran. So I'm very glad that he has taken time off his busy schedule to follow this program. Dr. Ravichandran, can you please join us and then give us a brief introductory remarks before we move on to the questions? The floor is yours, Dr. Ravichandran. I'll just try to check if if there are any connection issues, but I'll talk to them. But please carry on, Trishnita, with the questions in the meantime.
Okay, sir. Okay. Okay, so we will start with the questions. I got two questions. One is from Pura Nagalakshmi and the other is from Pooja Pawar. They want to know what are the fellowships available for PhD students, especially fellowships available for women. So I would like to ask Dr. Purnima Jalihal to answer this question.
Well, actually, for ocean technology, there are no specific fellowships or things like that, at least in NIOT. But I'm sure for the ocean sciences, for the engineering aspect, for the ocean sciences, I mean, apart from JRFs and SRS, the others are better qualified to answer from the science backgrounds, not the engineering.
Okay, ma'am. I would move on to Dr. Rashmi Sharma. Ma'am, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah, I would like to please answer this question.
Yeah, sure. So actually at ISRO, same thing which Madam told, we don't have any specific fellowship or scholarship for women, but we do offer many, customized, these specialized training programs to the students and young professionals. We also have sponsored research in which we, sponsor the institutions, and you can join them as a junior research fellows or any such, RAs and all those kinds. So you will be getting fellowship through them, and we offer the trainings and internships and all those things. But specialized fellowship as such is not there for women candidate. Yes.
All right, thank you, ma'am. I would also ask the same question to Dr. Panikal if she has any other inputs.
Yeah, I give.
Good morning, all.
Okay, yes.
And
yes, sir.
Greetings of the day. As we are celebrating Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, under this one very important panel discussion has been organized by Ministries Institute, where 75 and more scientists and panelists are there to discuss. And for that purpose, our ministry's scientists, I will request our senior advisor scientist, Dr. Parvinder Mani, Dr. Kamaljeet Ray, and of course our joint secretary is not here. She has gone for some meeting, and so as our secretary sahab also had got just some urgent this assignment, so he is not able to be here. But I request our senior scientists to be on dais, please.
So I'll just
And unmute करो.
Unmute है sir already.
Unmute है.
Thank you very much, Jagmeet ji.
Srinivas sir,
hear me?
Good morning. Yeah, this is so wonderful. Panel discussion is going on, and we are having our senior scientists also with us from Ministry Headquarters, Dr. Kamaljeet Ray and Dr. Parvinder Mani. So, this is a so wonderful activity is being planned by INCOIS, as there is profound role of our women in science, not only in science but in all the sphere, particularly if we see science and even our earth science disciplines, we find path-breaking work and research which is carried out by our respective women scientists and technicians and colleagues. So to grace this event which is being organized by ministries in COIS, our scientists are here to part with this and grace this occasion. So I will request Dr. Parvinder Mani to kindly express her views on this occasion and be part of this discussion. Dr. Parvinder Mani, please.
Well, first of all, good afternoon to all participants, and special greetings to all the women scientists who are participating. And I also thank INCOIS for organizing this function. But well, this is actually absolutely a complete surprise to me. I've just been called to come and sit on the dais. I had absolutely no idea about this. So I whatever little bit I heard 5 minutes back, I think probably you have you are addressing a lot of questions which where you would like to know about women participation. So of course women in science are very limited, and we really need to have some special schemes so that more women are encouraged, especially in the STEM stream. And of course in the Ministry of Earth Science, if you see per se, over the years steadily we see a growth of women scientists. I remember when 30 years back when I had joined, we were hardly 2 or 3 women scientists. And now I see a pool of women scientists who have joined, youngsters. And in fact, sometimes I'm quite envious, because when we were there, we had hardly any women colleagues, and we were gelling all with all our male and female colleagues. But now there's a real great pool of women scientists, and they're really accomplishing themselves very well. In fact, many of the women, young girls, are having papers in SCI journals, and they're really doing well. I really need to see a day when we have a women scientist leading a lab under Ministry of Earth Sciences. And I wish I have 5 years, literally 5 years of retirement. And before I retire, I really wish that before I retire, I see a women scientist heading a lab under Ministry of Earth Sciences. I hope whoever is going to, I would say whoever is going to be the decision maker in the future will ensure that, of course, the women have to compete along with men, have to be equally accomplished. We do not need special treatment. We have to be equally accomplished and compete with the male colleagues, and actually get whatever position we get with our own merits. We do not require special treatment. So I wish whoever is the decision maker in the future ensures that a women scientist becomes, from Ministry of Earth Sciences, becomes a lab director. With this, I just thank everybody for giving me an opportunity to speak, and we're here to address any questions if they're there across. As I said, it's a big surprise to me. I've just been made to sit on the dais. With whatever 2 minutes, whatever I heard, I just gathered that probably we are trying to address the concerns of women across the country. And we are here to address any of the questions which relate to, I would say, the schemes of Ministry of Earth Sciences and how we can help women do better and how we can encourage women to participate in the STEM programs. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. All right. All right. So I think we can come back to our discussion, and as I
yes, there is a question actually from
yes.
Patel Saab that can be, I think, discussed probably later.
Maybe I can address it.
Okay.
Yes, sure.
Dr. Pavinder Mani is.
There is a question which is in relation to what was being discussed, whether there's any fellowship program for women specifically. Actually, when Ministry of Earth Science doesn't have any specific program for scientists, no specific, but all our programs are directly benefiting women. If you all recall that recently we had this National Council for Applied Economic Research report in which they found out the benefits of monsoon mission and HPC. In that, they specifically they reported on how much women are being benefited. And I think the report, if I recall right, the report said that 26% of women are benefiting from all the schemes of Ministry of Earth Sciences. So as such, like other ministries like in DST, DBT, where they have specific programs related to women, we do not have any specific programs, but all our programs are equally benefiting women. And regarding the fellowship program, of course, there's a desk program in which is being housed by IITM under the Reach Out scheme. Under this, we have fellowships for JRFs and all that. And in that, women are given equal opportunities to participate. As I said earlier, and again I would like to reiterate, women do not require any special treatment. We want to be given equal opportunities. And giving an opportunities depend on how we encourage women to participate. That is what we want. So thank you so much. I think that answers your question, Patel sir.
Yeah. Thanks so much. Thanks. Now I request Dr. Kamaljeet Ray to share her views on this occasion.
So thank you so much, I think you can continue with your program. Something was going on, so we've just passed it.
Yes, ma'am.
This is not passing. Actually, these proper.
Jagveerji, let me please, give me a minute, half a minute, please.
Please, sir, please, Srivasa.
First of all, let me invite personally Dr. Kamaljeet Ray, my very good colleagues, and then Dr. Parvinder Maini to this panel. So you're, joining here. We are very glad. It's like icing on the cake. So please, so we just had about a few, very distinguished women colleagues speak on their experiences, and then Dr. Parvinder just added her experiences, which is great. And Dr. Kamaljeet, I would actually also like you to, speak a few, minutes about challenges. Basically, what is being addressed is actually the scientists, women scientists sharing their experiences, opportunities, and challenges in STEM, actually. So please add your, remarks, and then we will go with a few questions that we have received from the students. Please go ahead.
Okay, thanks, Dr. Sir, thanks.
Yeah. So actually, I would like to say something a little different from what Dr. Parvinder has told. I think in order to see to it that women are more given opportunity in science, they need to be protected. Because basically, it is the decision makers are mostly men-dominated forces. So it's required that you give some special consideration to this, that women opportunity in all the levels. You see, it starts from our house. You see, what we do is that we give classified. It's a little bit of a patriarchal society. We've classified this work for women and this work for men. So at home also it is like that. No? The men, they say that we're going out to work, so you sit at home and take care of the kids. So that is what we have to give them the opportunity. We have to allow them to be educated. We have to allow them. We have to see to it that they go to school, they get educated, they work. The responsibility of kids is equal. It's for both men and women. It should not be on women only.
So I feel that the opportunity has to be, you have to give special privilege, special opportunity to women, because so as to see to it that tomorrow they are in most of the scientific fields, and even in the top positions there should be some reservation for women, so that they play their role in selecting women to these places. Women are equally capable, sometimes I think more capable. so it is not that that we should come on our capabilities. Our capabilities are judged by, not by a forum which has more women in that. So I feel that there should be more of reservation, more of opportunities for women. So I think that this will be a better place if more women are there in most of the scientific fields also. That's what I feel. Thank you so much.
Thanks, madam. So if any point of discussion is there, probably that can be made with our esteemed scientist colleague in Ministry of Earth Sciences headquarters, Dr. Parvinder Mani, Dr. Kamaljeet Ray, and our other scientists are there in Ministry of Earth Sciences headquarters. They are always with for any kind of discussion or suggestion or their valuable inputs to all. So thanks a lot, Srinivas sir, and thanks so much, Madam Dr. Kamaljeet Ray, Dr. Parvinder Mani, for kindly gracing this wonderful panel discussion of women scientists across the country. Particularly, it is more than 75. Actually, the number was 75 on the occasion of this 75 year of independence, as we are celebrating Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. So, thanks a lot. Thanks, Dr. Srinivas sir. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Mr. Jagwir. So I will now hand over to Trishnita. You can please run the questions,
sure.
Then of course both Kamaljit, Dr. Kamaljit and Dr. Parvinder, if you are, if you have some time, please hang on and then try to take some of the questions along with our other panelists actually. So yeah.
If some question is there, yeah. Okay.
Trishnita.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you so much. Okay, so we will go back to where we had stopped. I was talking to Dr. Swapna Panikal. Okay, so before we ask her for the answer, I would again I would just reiterate the question and maybe rephrase it a bit before she can start giving the answer. So the questions that were coming to us was, what are the fellowships that are available to for women especially. Also, I would like to ask you the same question in this manner. A lot of students, when they are doing their schooling, they are not very well aware of the opportunities in research per se. So if we are talking about the academic path, the basic academic path would be finishing schooling, then maybe a BSc, the bachelor's, and then the master's. And then in order to get into PhD, people have to go through a few basically we all clear the net, or there may be other ways to get into PhD. So I would specifically ask you, ma'am, if you know, for students who have just cleared MSc and they want to do their PhD, what are the paths they can take, how they can get into a PhD program? This also is a question that is asked very often. So if you could answer that question as well, along with the fellowships that are specifically available for women across many institutes, whatever is known or famous. Ma'am, please.
Yeah, thank you. I think if you are entering into a field, you're looking for a PhD position. I don't think like we need to have a separate fellowship for men, girl or boy students, because they are equally important. Like they are doing the course in the whichever field, like MSc they are doing, and they wanted to do the research. I think we have to equally support both of them. But after they complete their PhD, because many women, because I also personally experience, like we get married and then we have the personal things, then they will have a break in career. So for that, like USD is having a woman scientist program, something like that, that may be very helpful. Like if they want to go take a earth science field as a career, and for them, I think it may be helpful. Like we can support these women scientists for such a specific team. But as IIT, madam has already told, we have a DISC program, and we are recruiting the JRFs, and they can do the research in the field of earth sciences, whichever field they can. But they are all qualifying the NET, and they are coming into IITM, and they are given the interviews, and based on the merit, they are selected as a JRF. So they are completing the PhD within 5 years of time. So they are all equally talented, and they are experts in the field once they finish the PhD. And when they look for a career opportunity, I think like we may have to have some special schemes, like women scientists can give some fellowships to the women students, so that they can enter into the field where we need a little more support.
Right.
Thank you.
Right. Okay, ma'am, before we move on with the same question to the other panel members, I have one question from Dr. V. Uma. She is from CSIR NGRI. So she has a very valid question. The question is, some women accept a lower position in research, maybe due to additional responsibilities at an early age. For example, when they have to take care of their family, their children probably. So at the later stage, when they are pursuing research, or when they are asked, when they are considered for higher positions, does the age factor come into the picture? Please elaborate on this.
I think so, because most of the positions we have the age barrier also. So like that's why I'm telling, like if we have some support for the women scientists who are entering into the career, we can have some special fellowships so that they will not feel like a break in career. They can, after the marriage or they have the kids, they can look after the family, and also they can enter into the field and they can proceed with the career opportunities. So that may be one thing we can. That one thing may be good for the woman scientists to progress in the career. So like otherwise doing a PhD and all, I don't think like we need a special reservation for the woman scientists. That is again my opinion.
All right, ma'am. Thank you so much. Okay. I would ask the same question about the fellowships, and I would ask the same question to Dr. Velveri. Ma'am? Ma'am?
Yes, please.
Yes, ma'am. So I was asking you, I wanted to ask you the same question. So while you were introducing your work, you said that you were in your family, you're the first generation graduate. So I just want to ask, for a lot of students who are just doing their graduation, maybe it is possible that in their family, they themselves are first generation graduates, and they don't have a lot of information about the opportunities that they may have in academic, in the path for academic growth. So how would you ask them to, what are the magazines that they can read? What are the places where they can get the information from for how to navigate through their academic journey? And I want to, I would request you to answer this question, starting from the very basic, if possible, the graduation level, and then how a lot of people, as I said, that they don't even know what are the opportunities for MSc even, forget research. So I would please, if you can answer the question in that general sense.
Yeah, actually, it is a valuable question. Here, my answer is that instead of looking for some magazine or portal or anything,
yes,
what my suggestion to the student is that they have to identify a mentor. Whether the mentor from from any one of their teacher, or from neighboring people, or the person, those who are really interested for the development of the person. So take their support and getting informations related to the education. So for myself, actually I already explained about that. My teacher is, she had provided all the details. Okay, so you are from the fishing family, then want to study something related to fisheries, now it would be good for your future. Like that, my teacher, she molded me, she motivated me to join the oceanographic subject. So likewise, my suggestion to the student is that they have to identify a mentor, those who are really really support them, really teach them in a proper way. So they have to identify. So not only from their village side or from their network, they have to think differently. They have to move away from their place. Even some fellow colleagues also, they have to take it. So this is the way they have to learn something from.
All right, ma'am. Thank you so much. The same question I would ask Dr. Miss Divya David. Hello, ma'am.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am. So I was going to ask you the same question. That any specific programs that you know of, the fellowships, any specific names that will be in this video, so that people who are looking, the students who are looking at this video later on, they can just pick up those information and then search the Google and maybe get to know more about.
Okay. If I understand correctly, your question is about the school students.
Yes, correct.
Yeah. So from the school, how they are going to know about the existence of research field, and yes. So obviously, like Dr. Belviri has already told, the school students, the main source of information about their future are their teachers.
Okay.
So even if they are coming from a privileged family or not, they obviously have the support of teachers. So I mean, now we are talking about the girl child in our platform. So I'm talking from that point of view. So I would recommend our girl kids to go because in the school till now, even after becoming the generation, the Z generation, and all the advancements has been done, still the kids are a bit hesitant to go to the teachers and ask the questions and to get inputs from them. So I would recommend, I pray to the kids that they have to go and approach their teachers and get information from them. And then comes our media and the sources from that type of sources, the internet. So now for the school kids, and especially for a high school student, it's not a new thing, because it's quite it has become quite normal that they get information from the internet, because often they search the internet for their study materials, to compare their study materials and to submit their project reports, because the education system has come to a practical level, not like 10 or 15 years back. It has advanced drastically. So the kids, even the unprivileged kids, have the common internet facilities. So from that point of view, they can search in the presence of their parents or their teachers about the opportunities. And even they can have the school, the teachers and the school can take initiatives to conduct talks. Because if I'm taking me as an example, when I was in school, there were magic shows for the students. Okay. And I was mesmerized by the magic shows. But never was there a talk from a scientist, because all the time the guests there from the entertaining field, sometimes only once in my school lifetime, an IAS officer came. That was also a man. So never was this type of discussions with respect to women were discussed during that time in the school. But now I have heard from my teachers and my school while discussing with them that there are often discussions about the future, the openings, even about research, because they're asking me to go and talk to the kids. So I think the windows are opening more and more. Okay. So that's what I told. The opportunities are opening up.
Right. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much. I would like to ask the same question by Dr. V. Uma to the scientists that we have on the other side of the virtual meeting, to Dr. Parvinder Maini and to Dr. Kamaljeet Ray. The question was, some women accept a lower position. They do not, they are satisfied with lower responsibilities because they have additional responsibilities at home, and because of that, maybe in the later stages when the age factor plays a major role and proves to be a hindrance in them rising the ranks. So what would you say, or what would you suggest to people, to young researchers in their early careers, to combat this situation? I would start with Dr. Kamaljeet Ray, maybe. Ma'am, we can't hear you. Is it possible? Ma'am, we still can't hear you. I think, is it the microphone will fall.
So now
yes,
you can hear.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
So I would say is that one thing is government should come out with programs in which if a lady goes on a sabbatical because of these family things, they should be reinstated exactly at the same position. They should never accept a lower position, because that is one thing which will create then frustration, and they'll not be very happy in their life. You see, so that's not important. One is, as far as possible, you should not take a break. You see, what I say is, child bringing up is a responsibility of both male and female, father and mother. It's not the mother's responsibility. Okay, so government has given some break of 4-5 months. After that, they should join. It is a mutual responsibility. Yeah, that is true that government should make provisions to have crèche in the departments, in ministries, so that the women are allowed to take care of them along with their work. And this virtual thing has come. I think now it will be possible for them to work from home, and they need not accept a lower position or anything. See, so for that, society, for that, our government, for that, our policies should be made, because this is something which is a decision taken by her for the benefit. This is a decision which has to be taken by each and every family in which the men and women both are there. So women should not take the whole responsibility. That's what I say.
Okay, shall I continue?
Yes, ma'am. Please. Yes.
Yeah, I will just pick up from where Kamaljeet left off. See, whatever it is, a balance has to be made by any individual, whether it is a male or a female, between work-life balance, between where you're working, your personal life, and your career path. It's whether it's a male or a female. There are many instances where even males also sacrifice a lot, to have a work-life balance. So, and second question, what you asked me was whether we should accept a lower position. Now, if the lower position to a woman is giving, woman or a man, I won't here, I'll not specifically tell for a woman. If a lower position to a woman or a man is giving satisfaction and happiness, then but yes, if the woman or an individual is actually sacrificing for something else and happy, then naturally that person will not even be able to deliver properly in that role. So it's better not to accept such a position rather than being unhappy there. So a sort of work-life balance as an individual. has to see that this is a work-life balance has to be maintained. And of course, these days, I think the men are equally partnering with their spouses in bringing up the children, and also are taking equal responsibility for the household things also. So I think there is definitely a change coming in, as rapid as it is there in the overseas countries, because we are looking at a very small percentage of women who are there in the cities, but there are very large amount of women, number of women who are there in the small towns or in the villages, where they are not only taking up the responsibility of the household chores, but they're also taking out responsibility for actually earning for the family. So that kind of balance has to be maintained, and this can be only done with specific schemes. If the government takes out specific schemes to encourage women and see to it that they get equal opportunity, and equal opportunity to showcase their abilities in all spheres of life, not only at home. And there was a question which I was expecting somebody to answer regarding whether there are special opportunities for women, especially if they leave out, they have to sacrifice their career for
Yes, ma'am.
So that, of course, as Ministry of Earth Sciences, as I said, they do not have any specific schemes. But Department of Science and Technology, because their mandate is to promote science, they have specific schemes for women. And I don't know the name of the scheme, but there is a scheme where women can, after 9 or 10 years of their education, they can join. When they have actually brought up their children to a reasonable level where the children are on their own, they can join, and they can join some projects and join some jobs where DST is actually helping these women to get this kind of opportunities. So I do not remember the name. And
Ma'am, I think the name is Women Scientist Fellowship. It's just that. Women Scientist, I think.
That's good. That's good. And regarding the young students, I think the DST also has an Inspire program where they encourage the young students, whether it's a male or a female, to take up the STEM stream. So, as DST has a mandate to promote science, so they have several such schemes. So it does not matter which ministry is offering such a stream. Wherever there, I think the women should be made aware, women or any individual should be made aware of such schemes, so that they can actually take opportunity and avail of these opportunities and actually go ahead in life. But as, of course, from Ministry of Earth Science, I can tell we do not have such scheme, because the mandate of Ministry of Earth Science is absolutely different. We have, we have schemes for our specific programs. And all our schemes, as I said, I would repeat again, all our schemes fit the women. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much, ma'am. Okay, so we are almost nearing the end of this panel discussion. I would like to ask a question to Dr. Jalihal. And one of the panel members. At the very beginning of our conversation about work, we were talking. You had mentioned that in NIOT, a lot of technology was developed, which is one of a kind, first time, not only in India, in fact, in the world, and a lot of expertise of Indian technology was being asked by the international community as well. So the kind of work that is being done in India right now by women also, I would request you to touch upon the topic that how difficult the kind of work is, how difficult is it for women to be managing the level of difficulty that is in the work, the challenges in the work, at the same time balancing life, because these are the questions that are coming to us in the chat boxes. So I'm just combining all of it together, and maybe a quick response from you.
Yeah, thank you for the questions. Essentially, like I said, we have developed some technologies which are like first time in the world, not only in the country. And we haven't really, I'd like to tell the youngsters who are listening that please do not try to ape the West. We don't need to do what they do. Today the common thing that people do is just keep browsing and then, seeing things and then taking up research which is already being done elsewhere. So we have to look at the Indian conditions. We have to look at how we can indigenize and develop our own capacity and our own strengths in doing work which is suitable for us. Okay, so For instance, the desalination that we have pioneered, this is something that others did not try to do. For one thing is, they don't have the same problems as India. And the other thing is, Indian conditions, the location of India with the huge oceans all around us, close to the tropics also, this makes us suitable for certain technologies more than the West. So merely because Europe and US don't do something, it doesn't mean that we should not be doing it. For instance, the ocean thermal energy conversion is very suitable for these regions, and in the ocean energy systems under the International Energy Agency, nobody had been doing OTEC till India joined. And once India joined, we took a group of countries together and we have now released a white paper on OTEC. Europe does not need OTEC, but a lot of Pacific countries and Asia and India do need these kind of technologies. So there are challenges. Coming to the challenges, apart from the challenges for women, there are also challenges like we don't have sufficient industry to actually do these challenging works offshore. So that is in any way a deterrent. Secondly, for women in particular, which has been stated by all the other panelists here, we have to have the work-life balance. And I would join my ministry colleagues, Dr. Parvinder and Kamalchit, in saying that certain, ministries have to actually provide certain proactive things for women in terms of I agree that we should revert back to work after a few months of the maternity leave, not because we should. I mean, the ideas of reinstating a person after a long leave, all that is a different matter. The point is, as an individual, we have to have our peace of mind and enjoy our work along with the drudgery that comes along with certain activities at certain points in life. So we should try to return back to work, and for this to happen, ministries and the government should take on more proactive roles. Like, it is not just providing a childcare leave, which people sometimes tend to misuse, but we could have flexi hours. Creche should be made mandatory wherever there is. It's already a rule that 50 women means you should have a creche, but many institutes still don't like to, get into that mode. So daycare should be provided, and flexi times, if they are provided, women can come back to work at their convenience within the time frames and then, deliver. So apart from technical and technological challenges, lack of proper industry supporting all these ventures in the ocean technology arena, there are other issues also, like, going to field and things which needs active support from the ministries and the government. I hope that has answered your questions.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much. All right. So quickly, we are nearing the end of the program. So we will be, I will be taking the closing remarks. Again, most of the questions that we've received are about specific fellowships, specific, they want names probably, because that will be easier for them to search or something of this sort. Also, I will ask the panelists one by one, closing remarks, and maybe some advice to the young generation, women specifically, who are trying to make a career in earth sciences or research in general. I would ask this question to Dr. Rashmi Sharma first.
Yeah, thank you so much. So as I come from from the space agency, and the space observations, specifically for the Earth observation data sets. Actually, they are all, most of the data sets are very, we have an open data policy. The space is open, and the data are available for any young students, researchers, men, women. I mean, they can make use of the data. So it is just a few suggestions which I would like to give, that the technology has advanced so much. The data are freely available. So take on a project, work with this data, use advanced technologies, techniques like AI, ML and all, and they will help you. I mean, these kind of projects will help you during your, during your interview times. So this is what I have to say. And as I said in the beginning, in my speech, that as far as the space program goes, we are second to none, and the sky is the limit. So there is a lot of opportunities for the young students to come in this field. So thank you, and Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. All right. Closing remarks from Dr. Jalihal, please.
Yeah, in terms of you were asking about fellowships, but I just like to alert students here that though there is no specific fellowship for women or something, but we are running a master's program, an MTech program in the IIT Madras, a user-oriented program sponsored by NIOT, or rather, it's actually sponsored by the ministry, where we take 10 GATE candidates each year, and they have to do their project work specifically to ocean technology. So there are a lot of programs in earth sciences and ocean technology available. I request the students to look at them and try to take an active interest. We need more people in the area of ocean sciences. And I hope hearing all of us and the kind of work we do has motivated some of the students to take on more work in this area. And I wish all the students and researchers who have joined this program today all the best and in your careers. And even the women here, please keep up with the grit and determination, and I'm sure you will work wonders. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. All right. I would ask Dr. Swapna Panikal for the closing remarks, please.
Yeah, I think to me, empowering women is education. That is the most thing. So we need to encourage the female students to take up higher education in their own level, and then they have given the employment opportunities. I think they can really take up bigger positions and they can progress in their life. So my best wishes to all the students who are hearing for this program, and so that they can take up higher education and they can be successful in their life. That's it.
Right. Thank you so much, ma'am. All right. Moving on to Dr. Velveri, ma'am.
Yeah. Yes. My suggestion for the youngsters, those who are watching this session, is that first they have to identify a good mentor for them to guide. First thing. Then second thing is that they have to create their own network.
Right.
That is my second suggestion for them. Third, they have to read a lot, because nowadays materials are available, not like earlier times. Nowadays, a lot of materials available, so they have to read a lot. And they have to approach organizations like us for guidance. Even they can take some internships with us to learn how the science is helpful for the society, kind of thing. So these are my suggestions. All the very best for the students, those who are watching this session. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. All right. Moving on to Dr. Divya David.
Hi.
Yes, ma'am.
So, as we know already, and after this brainstorming discussion, we are completely now aware that we are in a very competitive world. So even after you scale up yourself, new set of challenges comes up with every single opportunity. So it is always good to keep up your hunger, be competent always, and never go for excuses. Even if you take a break or not, but after coming back, you should never go for excuses of taking a break and having variations in your pace. So keep learning constantly, evolve and transform yourself to be in that competitive world. More importantly, don't be scared to be the smartest person who raises questions and doubts in a room. And don't be afraid to change your routes to your destination if it is research. And never mind the variations in your pace, like I already told. If you want to study ocean, volcanoes, cyclones, earthquakes, or deep falls, whatever it is, as a woman, it is never a stop for you. You should never think like that. So finally, women should be competitive and very bold and grab the opportunities and understand, make ourselves say repeatedly that it comes always with challenges. So only thing we have to do is we have to constantly work hard and should never go for excuses and reach that destination.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. I will also ask Dr. Maini to help us bring an end to this discussion. So, closing remarks from you as well.
Thank you. I would actually again repeat that opportunities exist. It's the only thing I think. Are you able to hear me?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, opportunities are there. Government has created a lot of opportunities through various schemes. It's only that the students have to be exposed to these opportunities. So I still feel the schools and as well as the parents, they play a major role in any student's life, in any child's life. So, I mean, there has to be some enabling platform where the students actually know where the opportunities are, and the parents should encourage the students to take up these opportunities. Now, all the fields are equally important, but I feel there's still a fear for taking up STEM courses. And you can actually, a nation can actually progress if we have more of students in the STEM courses. And because that is a place where opportunities are more, and our actually it also helps in our GDP growth. So that is one thing that we really need students to take that line of STEM courses. And for this, the students have to be made aware of the government opportunities at in various ministries and government schemes. And for that, the schools and the parents have to play an enabling platform. That's what they have to do. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much, ma'am. Again, I would request Dr. Kamaljeet Ray for her closing remarks.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, yeah. So my suggestions would be simple to school kids and particularly to girls. So we have to fight the gender stereotypes. You see, ये करना चाहिए, लड़कियां ऐसा होना चाहिए, हाँ, and they उनको medical पढ़ना चाहिए, उनको engineering नहीं पढ़ना चाहिए. So you have to fight. You have to do what you want. Okay, you should be sure of your choices. Women, girls should be sure of their choices. What do they want to do? There's nothing like men world and women world. You see, the stereotypes, you have to defeat those. You should do what you want to do. Whether any field you want to take, it is not a men field or women field. See, so we have to defeat this and do whatever we wish to do whatever. We should not feel bad if we are not able, women are not able to cook. We should not feel bad if we are not able to take care of the family and we prioritize career over family. There's nothing to feel bad about it. So you should be able to do what you want to do and don't get defeated by the stereotypes. That's what I would just like to say in the end. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you. I am glad that we were able to have this beautiful panel discussion, and I express my sincere gratitude to all the panelists who were able to join us in this discussion. I hope that I have been able to take all the questions. Some of the questions I've just summarized, and I hope that the audience members who've been wanting to ask these specific questions, they have been answered. Throughout the entire discussion, there have been snippets where the specific themes, the fellowships, the path, the educational avenues have been reiterated by all the panelists, and I hope that since this is a live meeting, the recording is already available. Anyone who is not able to attend this meeting at this time, the students can go back and take a look at all the information those have been presented in this meeting today. Thank you again to all the panelists who were able to join. Thank you, our director, for giving us an opportunity to make this panel discussion happen. I thank all the people behind the scenes who've made this possible. Thank you. I hope that you all have a brilliant rest of the day. With that, I will be signing off. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Thank you all. Thank you all.
Thanks so much. Thanks, madam.
Thank you.
Really, we also got enlightened by thoughts. And just I am to
right.
Just I am to mention that today afternoon we would be having that interaction with the fishermen that is organized by INCOIS, as they are providing so useful services to coastal areas for fishermen, potential fishing zone. So that would be a good discussion with them, interaction would be there. And in addition to that, our NCPR team is also here with their VR system. and that is also excellent opportunity. Some of you may like to see that. And tomorrow, under this Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, we have got kindly consent of Honorable Minister to be here at 12 o'clock. So just that final program we will share with all. So it would be approximately around 12 o'clock. So I am availing this opportunity to share this to you all.
Right.
So thank you so much once again. And we say that although mantra is something different, that yatra nariya pujyate, that is instead of that yatra nariya karyesu, tatra ramante devta, instead that you know that wherever women's workforce is more, those countries are found better progress. That is a study, well found studies there. So just with greetings of the day and thanking you all. Let us see and look forward for the bright future and more opportunities for women force. Thank you so much. Thanks all.
Thank you.